My name is Mark Freeberg. I'm the Deputy General Manager at the Edwards Aquifer Authority. Our job is to manage, enhance, and protect the Edwards Aquifer for all the users and uses that rely upon it.
Hi, my name is Omar Garcia. I'm Water Resources Manager for the Edwards Aquifer Authority. I manage the groundwater permitting, conservation, and critical period programs for the Edwards. So we're going to go over the Notice of Intent to Finish a Crop rules. Permit holders who irrigate crops are allowed to finish irrigating a crop they have planted in the ground after critical period is declared without any critical period reductions.
Our enabling legislation allows for an irrigator to finish your crop regardless of whether or not we're in drought restrictions, which we call curtailment. Essentially, if the crop is in the ground and it's necessary to continue pumping water to finish that crop out, so long as the irrigator stays within the authorization of their permit, they can apply for an exemption from those pumping curtailments.
It's in the rules and the EAA Act. When the EAA was created, the legislators that wrote the rules to create us wanted to make sure that farmers were protected during times of drought.
These questions typically come from the regulated community. The program, because of the way it's implemented, is always confusing, and so we're hoping that this video and some of the outreach that we're doing in the future can help make this a streamlined process and to find ways to get in touch with us when they need additional help.
Is the NIFC form online?
Yes, you can find it on our website at www.edwardsaquifer.org, or upon request, the form can be mailed or emailed to you.
Is there a link on the website for the NIFC rules? If so, where can I find it?
Yes, the rules can be found on our website under EAA Rules, Chapter 715, Subchapter E.
Is there a deadline to submit an NIFC form?
Yes, we've created a hard deadline to make the process more understandable, and right now that deadline is December 1st of a calendar year.
How are the critical period reductions calculated?
That's where some things can get complicated. Our critical period reductions are calculated on a yearly basis, and we'll go in and out of different stages depending on the level of drought. So the way you calculate it is you take the number of days that you've been in a certain stage. So if you're in stage 20% reduction for 117 days, you take that number of days, divide it by the number of days in the year, 365, and multiply it times the percent reduction. That's complicated, so we have a calculator. If you go to our website, there's a calculator there for you to be able to put in numbers of days that we've been in critical period. You'll see it, you'll put in your permit number, amount, your authorized amount, and it'll spit out where you currently are under curtailment.
I finished irrigating before critical period was declared. Why should reductions apply to my authorized amount? What are my options?
That's a common question that we get, and the answer is that critical period is applied year-round, regardless of when you're using your water. You can still apply if the critical period reductions catch up to you. It's called a retroactive application, and if you give the appropriate information to us, we can approve it.
I planted a crop after critical period was declared. Can I still apply for NIFC protection?
Yes, if you planted a crop after critical period was declared, and if you can show that the reductions retroactively cause you to overpump your reduced amount, then you can apply for NIFC protection.
My NIFC has been approved and I plant an additional crop. How does that affect my approval?
So if you plant an additional crop after your NIFC was approved, we will consider your NIFC to have been withdrawn, at which point you can reapply for the NIFC protection for your new crop.
How can I know if the critical period reductions have caused me to overpump?
Staff is available to help permit holders with the calculations, or you can look at our online calculator on our website.
So, I've already leased a portion of my water rights for the year. Can I still apply for NIFC protection?
Absolutely, you can still apply if you've leased water out. It just depends on how much you've used, and we need to know when that lease took place. So contact staff and we can help you through the process.
After CPM was declared, I harvested my crop and will be planting an additional crop. Can I file for NIFC protection?
Absolutely, because the program is focused on the crop, not the time of declaration. So as long as you provide the appropriate information with the crop that you have in the ground or the crop that you need protection for, you can be approved.
So my NIFC has been approved. Do I still need to submit monthly use reports in critical period?
Yes, the newly adopted rules don't affect the filing deadline for critical period monthly reports.
So my NIFC was approved and I'm finished irrigating. If I have any water rights left over, can I transfer them to a different place of use?
No. After your NIFC has been approved, the rules prohibit the transfer of water rights from the permit or place of use associated with the NIFC to another place of use.
My NIFC was approved before I finished irrigating the crop, which is the subject of the application. I realize I may have exceeded the amount. Can I transfer water to the farm, which is the subject of the NIFC, to stay in compliance?
Absolutely, because permit compliance is the most important detail that you need to do during a year. NIFC only exempts you from curtailment, so your full authorized amount needs to be maintained through a transfer.
Thanks for your interest in the NIFC rules. We do hope the newly adopted rules help permit holders manage the permits a little better.
Thank you for your interest in the program. We're hoping that this becomes a streamlined process that everybody can fully understand and can bring a benefit to the region. We hope that you've learned what you needed to know to implement the process, but if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to staff.